And at this time, I would like to introduce to you our speaker of the day, our always inspiring, our always encouraging and uplifting, Miss Toni Hamilton.
Thank you, Brian. Good morning, everyone. We have a very interesting topic today. Culture is deep and it is complex. It includes so many variables of humanity, characteristics of life and living, as only the divine creative intelligence could manifest. From all of the variables and characteristics, our unique, specific, identifiable ethos emerges. I love what Evelyn said in her treatment: our unique identity, our unique energy. When we look at culture, we recognize that it informs us, it impacts and defines our connection to spirit, our connection to nature, our connection to our ancestors, to what we eat, to why we do things. Our culture is what shapes us and motivates us, it guides us, it is our reason, it encompasses our beliefs, our ways of expressing our values, our attitudes, our social behavior. It is really everything. And yet, out of that, there is this identifiable uniqueness that expresses, that comes. Culture is who we are fundamentally and what we do collectively and in practice. Culture expresses our uniqueness. It's what makes us identifiable from others. And divine creation is unique, though sometimes immensely similar, not no two are alike, not even twins are 100% alike. There's always a unique distinguishing factor. Uniqueness is what spirit intends and celebrates. And what's important to understand is in back of that uniqueness is oneness. In back of that uniqueness is oneness. The understanding and awareness that no matter how differently God expresses through us, we are all one. That is the key to celebrating our differences and living harmoniously. Freedom is born out of respect and understanding that we are all one, that we are each aspect of the divine, of the same source, the same essence, the same energy, the same life force. One of the fun and easy ways to relate to this, for me, is through food. We all have to eat. And one of the wonderful things about living in this country and living in this world is the diversity. And so I'm just going to mention a couple of things that might resonate with you: Italian pastas, French pastries, Indian curries, barbecue, Japanese ramen, Ethiopian wats. Wonderful, wonderful foods to enjoy that represent the uniqueness of different cultures and different countries. There's so much beauty, there's so much uniqueness and character also that is expressed in how we clothe ourselves. So, for example, there's the Japanese kimono, there's the Indian sari, European full skirts with petticoats. But my favorite is the modern fashion houses of Italy, of Paris, of New York, I might add. Um, There's native dress, the deerskin tunics, the colorful pictographs and petroglyphs. There's traditional African boo-boos and head wraps, beaded necklaces and crowns. We also see the uniqueness and diversity of culture through music. Music is a very, very powerful expression that comes from different people in different ways. So we have European classical music, we have African American rhythm and blues and gospel, we have Native American music with the beautiful drumming and flutes and chants. We have Carnatic Sangeet, which is a South Indian classical music. There are so many different cultures and so many different unique aspects that are just so beautiful and so enjoyable and so wonderful that we actually get to experience. There are celebrations that we can partake in. The Chinese New Year, which is something that is fascinating and wonderful to watch. I've always wanted to participate in the Indian celebration of Holi. It's where people get together and they're all about fellowship and peace and love and joy and camaraderie. It's a time of forgiveness, it's a time of coming together, and people celebrate their deity and literally throw colors on each other. It's just like wild, abandon, and beautiful, beautiful, beautiful to see. And then what something that we're very familiar with in this country, whether you're Irish or not, is the celebration of St. Patrick's Day and a huge St. Patrick's Day parade. And there's the African American holiday of Kwanzaa that is celebrated not just in this country, but all around the world. There is so much to learn about and celebrate about each other. But fear, fear of anything unknown, of anything unlike us, creates criticism, it creates judgment, it creates divisiveness. Let's be real. Are we gonna like everything about other people's cultures? Are we gonna agree with or understand everything about other people's cultures? No, absolutely not. But being curious, being open, being willing to learn goes a long way towards developing respect and dignity. An example of that might be our Healing the Divide work that we do at our center. It's very powerful work. But the truth is, unfortunately, not everybody is spiritual. Not everybody is moral, and not everybody is trying to be their best selves. Some people really embody negativity, self-centeredness, fear, hate, anger, aggression. And if we ignore that and allow it to run amok, we are endangering ourselves. We have to be responsible, yes, and take care of ourselves. Hoping it will work out and leaving it to someone else to do is not the answer. But being proactive, learning about people and their cultures, what's different, what's similar, engaging in open dialogue, researching instead of taking things at face value, even when we think we know. These are actions and activities that help bridge the gap, that will allow us to incorporate the ideas and experiences we learned about and choose to embrace or not. If we reconnect with the ideas and things that are good about culture, that are good about our own culture, even make the ideal stories that we've told real, because some of them are not real, some of them are not true. Not from the pretense of being something that we're not, but out of respect for and enjoyment of other cultures, not appropriating someone else's culture or monetizing it or diluting it or destroying it, but celebrating what resonates for us with dignity and respect. It simply means being a good human being, checking ourselves and our motivation, our intent, exercising kindness, respect, curiosity, nonviolent communication, and understanding that we are different and we are the same. By reconnecting with the fundamental good that's in our own culture and correcting what's necessary, and maybe integrating other cultures into our way of life. Maybe everyone can be themselves and contribute to the world without having to give themselves up in order to be accepted or become someone else, adopt a culture that's not their own in order to be included. Through relationship and connection, we find humanness. And maybe some of the things that we see going on in our own country today and in the world at large could be avoided, could be shifted, could be changed so that we recognize each other with love and kindness and dignity and respect. When we can learn to honor and respect others in dignity, we are embracing and stepping into freedom, freedom for all of us. So let's take this into treatment. And so, what I know is that there is only one, the divine intelligence, the divine presence, the divine creative beingness that I call God, Creator, Spirit, whatever you call it, wherever you are from. I affirm that there is only one. That one creates all of us, sustains and maintains each one of us. That one expresses in and through and as each one. This divine presence creates in love. It creates in light. It creates in joy and beauty and harmony and wholeness and perfection. I only have to look at nature, to look at the beauty around me, the many different expressions and forms of beauty around me, and recognize that this creative presence celebrates in its creation of life. This creative presence is expressing in beauty and joy and peace. This creative presence is divine. It is everything that is right and wonderful. And what I know and declare and affirm is that this is what expresses in and through and as each one of us in our unique energetic signature. The divine is expressing, but it is whole, it is perfect, it is complete. And so, this very essence of spirit that is life is expressing in and through and as each one of us. And what I affirm is that each one of us is able to recognize the beauty, is able to recognize and experience and feel the love, is able to find value in that which is not like ourselves, is able to create a space for what's different, is able to allow what's different to be, doing no harm, doing no harm, celebrating differences, celebrating love, celebrating joy, celebrating the unknown. I affirm the divine presence that I call God expresses uniquely, individually, specifically, but in oneness. But in oneness. And that creative expression continues as what we call life. And so I simply give thanks for all of the opportunities to know, to understand, to be in the experience and the expression of love and beauty and joy and peace and wholeness. I give thanks for all the opportunities to be excited, to be inspired, to be fulfilled by the creation of spirit. I give thanks. And knowing that this is the truth and affirming this experience for each one, I now simply release this word into the law, knowing that it is God that makes it so. Please close with me. And so it is.